A government on the run.
Sorry about the rain, guys.
The new Chancellor's even apologising for the weather. Jeremy Hunt was jogging before dawn, even thought of braking this morning.
Any more U-turns?
The answer was yes. News was already breaking. Mr Hunt was performing the last rites on almost all of Liz Truss's plans. Her programme for government, dead. Living hour by hour. This is what hand-to-mouth governing looks like. Camera crews were called to the Treasury, ministers so petrified by the pace of events, yanking big chunks of a massive announcement forward by a fortnight isn't enough. Even leaving it to this afternoon was too late for them. There was a statement filmed just after 11 o'clock too.
No government can control markets, but every government can give certainty about the sustainability of public finances.
And they're doing that by junking pretty much everything Liz Truss said she stood for.
We will reverse almost all the tax measures announced in the growth plan 3 weeks ago that have not started parliamentary legislation.
Cancelling a rise in national insurance and changes to stamp duty in England and Northern Ireland, the only bits held on to. The planned cut in income tax in England, Wales and Northern Ireland is off.
But at a time when markets are rightly demanding commitment to sustainable public finances, it is not right to borrow to fund this tax cut. So I've decided that the basic rate of income tax will remain at 20%, and it will do so indefinitely.
And that wasn't it. The very crutch against which the Prime Minister has leant through weeks of criticism, her help with energy bills for 2 years, that was being watered down too.
The Prime Minister and I have agreed it would not be responsible to continue exposing public finances to unlimited volatility in international gas prices. So I'm announcing today a Treasury-led review into how we support energy bills beyond April next year. There will be more difficult decisions, I'm afraid, on both tax and spending.
Stark and blunt. Taxes will be higher and government spending will be lower than was planned. Remember, today is about two things. Yes, those budget changes, but also her future. So what is it? Just gone 3:30, and Labour have tried to haul the Prime Minister to the Commons to answer their questions. But she has said no and sent along a Cabinet Minister instead.
With apologies to the Leader of the Opposition and the House, the PM is detained on urgent business.
From the opposition parties here, derision.
How can Britain get the stability it needs when all the government offers is grotesque chaos? How can Britain get the stability it needs when instead of leadership we have this utter vacuum? How can Britain get the stability it needs when the Prime Minister has no mandate from her party and no mandate from the country?
Where on earth is the Prime Minister? And if she doesn't even have the backbone to show up here today, is there really any point in her showing up here again? Surely time's up. She needs to go and let the people decide.
For the damage and pain they have caused across our country, will the Leader of the House, on behalf of her whole party, address the people and businesses of our great country and apologise?
And this Labour MP suggested...
And all we know right now is, unless she tells us otherwise, that the Prime Minister is cowering under her desk and asking for it all to go away.
The Prime Minister is not under a desk, as the Honourable Lady.
Listen to the barracking and just look at Penny Mordaunt's facial expression. Wherever she had been, we finally did spot Liz Truss making her way to Parliament.
I know that the Prime Minister...
Just before 4:30, she arrived in the Commons. Her ministers shuffle along to make space for her, as a growing number on her own side wonder when she might shuffle off as Prime Minister. Chris Mason, BBC News at Westminster.